Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. It's me, Kiafa. Welcome back to my tribe. I just thought about something, especially with my last video. Before you quit your job, try going part-time. If you on my channel and you watching like some of my other videos like surgical tech and stuff, go PRN or part-time. If you aren't in the medical field and PRN is not an option, PRN is per diem, so you could just do part-time if that's an option before you quit your job. Because the thing is, I done quit my job multiple times, y'all, and I ain't gonna even lie. When you quit normally without a plan, it's because you be fed up and you just be like, I'm done. And it's okay, you done with that job, but now you gotta go find another job. And finding another job is not always like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not always the easiest, depending on like what kind of job you do. So you might have, like for me, I'll have to wait months sometimes when I was working, like when I was applying for staffing positions, like if I wanted to be part of a hospital staff, because it take them to first find your application. Now, my department is always higher. It's always a high turnover in the OR, in the operating room. So the nurse managers or the whoever hiring, they typically get back to you fairly quick, but you still have a whole process that you have to go through. So if you quit your job and you ain't got enough money to like support yourself for the next couple of months, you're gonna be stressed out. You know what I'm saying? So, and that is almost worse than going to a job that you hate, is trying to figure out how to make the money. So I'm gonna tell you, for me, if you gonna quit your job, then before you decide that I'm finna just quit, have other stuff lined up. Like, always have something going on that you can get into whenever you want to. Like, anything that you can just jump in and out of, like, keep that in your back pocket at all times, because then you could just do that full time. So for me, I would do Instacart, or I did DoorDash a little bit, but I like Instacart. And so I would do Instacart, and then there was also Arise. So Arise is a customer service platform where you basically answering your phone at home, and it's a 1099 position. You just pretty much doing phone customer service for like companies, like Fortune 500 companies that y'all are like familiar with. So I would do that for years. Like, I would always know that, okay, worst case scenario, I can go do this. Now, with the medical field evolving with technology, now they have the apps. So if you want to go pick up a travel position, or a shift position, I should say, you can. You don't have to even be on a contract anymore. You could just pick up a shift for that day, depending on where you're located, and just do that. You don't have to even be like on the staff anymore. My whole point of saying is to say, before you just quit your job and be out here trying to struggle, especially if you got kids and stuff, like, that's just gonna put you in a real desperate situation. So don't do that. Have more than one thing lined up. That's what I be trying to tell people. Like, do things that you can do even when you're working. So YouTube is something easy, y'all. Like, YouTube, a website, a blog, like, that's easy. Writing an ebook, that's easy. Do stuff that you can do around your job that's not gonna take you out your house, that you can do at home, that you can also benefit from. So like, if it's YouTube or a blog, you can still use that as a small business that's at your house. So then that's a whole tax write-off, and that put you in a different, like, that put you in the game a little bit. Like, even if in your mind it's like, oh, it's a hobby, get an LLC and an EIN number. And even if it is a hobby, for like the first 5 years, you're gonna be trying to figure it out, and you're gonna get these deductions from the IRS, because you can build a business for about 5 years and lose money almost, like, and they're gonna still be like, okay, we're gonna, is this a hobby or a business type of thing? But, and I'm not no tax expert, I'm just telling you what I know from my experience. If you're gonna be working a job is gonna benefit you to have multiple things going on, diversify your income sources, income streams, so you do not be in a situation where one day you just so fed up and you finna quit, and now you quit and you ain't really got no money coming in, and you even more stressed out than you was when you had the job that you hated. So have other stuff going on, and then take the job that, if you got a high paying skilled job, go part-time. You might quit that if you at somewhere that's just not where you need to be at, then go find you somewhere else. But I wouldn't tell you to just quit, because I done did it. You know, I'm not talking about like the more recent time, but I'm saying like when I was younger, and I done just quit jobs and was out here trying to figure it out. And I did have streams of income coming in. They just wasn't really enough to support, you know, the lifestyle that I was living. And it wasn't even an extravagant lifestyle, y'all. I wasn't really like, I heard like doing that in major, but I did pick up little skills along the way that I knew was going to be beneficial. One of the skills that I was working on at the time was reselling. And so I would just resell my son, because he was growing so fast. I was just reselling a lot of his clothes. One of my grandparents used to sell clothes at a flea market, so I would resell some of the stuff that we had from her estate. Yeah, it was just me just picking up little things here and there. But because I knew I didn't like being in certain environments, I didn't like, you know, trying to play the game that you have to play at some of these jobs. And so I already knew what kind of attitude I had, as far as if they finna be trying to play with me, if they be, you know, I'm not dealing with none of that. So I knew I had to have other stuff in my back pocket, because at any time I would quit. And so after a while, you got to know yourself. Be like, okay, we cannot be out here setting ourselves up for failure. Make sure you got other stuff going on. So I'm very self-taught. So I'll read all kind of books, y'all. I grew up in the era, so I said all the time, I'm 41. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so we had books. And I remember my mom, like, we had a whole bunch of like those like romance novel books and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily read those now, but I do still enjoy like holding books. So now I just read a lot of self-help, investing books, money books, psychology books, like that kind of stuff. But I just remember, you know, quitting my jobs and thinking like, dang, now I gotta go find another job. And then you just have to go through that multiple times before I figured it out that, okay, before you just quit, maybe you do have something going on that, you know, you can do in the middle of finding like another job or something like that. And so when these little gig apps came out, y'all, this is right on time. I'm not saying that these gig apps is out here replacing your, you know, $70,000, $80,000 job. I don't know. And then I don't know your market, but also having a higher paying skill, like having a higher skill that's gonna pay you. You don't have to do stuff for as long. So let's just say if you don't have no high paying job or skill, whatever, that you can do for less hours, then you might have to do like a gig out for 12, 14 hours a day. But if you want to do it, it's up to you. Like, you can choose to spend that much time. Me personally, I wouldn't want to spend 12, 14 hours a day driving or doing gig work if I could work part-time or work PRN in my high-paying skill job and still have a little bit of freedom to move how I want to move. So before you quit, go part-time, and also not only just go part-time, but make sure you have some kind of skill something that you can do outside of your job, whether it's selling stuff on eBay to learn how to resell and to find, because something that's worth something that other people don't know. So you can probably go to Goodwill or go to Walmart or go to an estate sale and find something there that is valuable, that valuable, but that other people don't know valuable, because we all have these different interests and hobbies and things that we done looked up over time and then realized, like, hey, I like this. I like doing this. So like with hair, I'll give you a quick example. I was doing hair and I went to Goodwill one time and they had all these salon chairs. Now I knew that the salon chairs was worth more than that. I think they had them like listed for like $15 to $20. Y'all, I bought all of them and resold them on Craigslist at the time because I knew the value. I sold all of them for over $100 a piece. I kept two because I had the studio, so I kept two. It's just that type of stuff that you have to just get out here and just do, because having all your eggs in one basket when it comes down to your job is just not the move. And you will get tired. You will get burnt out. You spend all this time at work, you gonna get tired. This is not something that it's like, okay, well, maybe one day, you know, you can keep putting off, because the more you put it off, the more vulnerable you will be when it comes down to, you know, work. You're gonna be a sitting duck because you're gonna end up at somebody's job, or maybe you end up with a manager. Maybe you stay somewhere for a long period of time and then somebody else leave, and then this new manager come in and y'all just do not, you know, get along, and now they in a higher position than you, so they really finna get you up out of there. Like, trust and believe. So I'm just saying, make sure that you prepared before you decide to quit your job. It's even a video on my channel where I'm finna go be a full-time content creator. Even at that moment, me knowing that I had streams of income coming in, I was just frustrated and burnt out. That's not the time to quit your job. It's not the time to quit. When you need to be prepared for that burnout. You need to be prepared for being frustrated. You need to be prepared. The only way you can do that is to do something outside of your job. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Go sell stuff at the flea market if you want to. Like, we got a flea market here that you can get booths at for like $30, I think, a day. And you can come sell all kind of stuff. It be people selling all kind of stuff out there. Whatever you want to sell, you can come out there and sell it. Y'all get messages. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that because I see on my YouTube channel, like, you know, people talking about how they quit and, you know, all of this stuff. And I'm like, I know that experience. And I'm not telling you to not make the adjustments that you need to make in your life to make sure that you have a quality life. Do that. Make sure your life is quality. Don't be in stressful situations letting people try to manipulate you and all that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a power position to where at any given time you can leave, because you're not so invested in one area. You're not solely invested in this job. Don't work full time. I think 40 hours is a freaking joke. You too gone. You too distracted. You too tired. You can't even create nothing. 40 hours of work is really more than that. You can almost add, if it's 40 hours, I'm going to add 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to add 10 more hours to that, because you got to get dressed and you got to commute. So it's really 50 hours of like physical activity, not including the mental activity that is going to be required. Because on Sunday, you sitting up here thinking about Monday and you ain't even enjoying what you're doing because you worried about the next day because you got to go to work. So it's just that, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is just be prepared for all of that. If you're working 40 hours, I'm going to tell you to not work 40 hours. I'm going to tell you to get you a high-paying skilled job or something, or put yourself in a position where your job is not your main source of income, because you don't want to spend so much time at work. Have a life project. It's not all about helping other people build theirs. Have a life project, whether it's writing a book, like I said, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, whether it is creating a podcast, whether it's something like, I don't know, what y'all writing music, whatever you like to do, poetry, whatever you like to do something. Write a book. Shoot. That's not that it's easy, because I'm not gonna say it's easy, because everything that you think is easy is a lot more work than what you think. But it would be better for you to spend 5 or 10 years writing a book. Well, maybe not that long, but a year to 3 years writing a book and publishing that and putting some energy and effort into that, and instead of like spending 20-some years at a job. Like, whatever job you're doing, whatever your job is, talk about that. Like, create a document of that experience and leverage the technology, like a YouTube channel around what you're doing, a book around what you're doing, a podcast around what you're doing. If you don't have a career, you got some kids, create something that's gonna help some new parents. You in a relationship, you don't got no kids, okay, tell us about how to be in a healthy relationship. You on a journey to lose weight, share that with us. Do something, y'all. Just don't not do nothing. Just don't not be out here just really working full time and just, I'm too tired. I'm tired. You gotta be real tired working at 70 and 80 years old. You gotta be real tired then. It's not funny, but I'm just being honest. Like, you talking about you tired now. You ain't seen tired until you get older and you gotta go to work. I'm in my 40s and I'm tired of it. I know in my 50s and 60s I'm not gonna be, and then you're gonna be at work grumpy. Don't nobody want no grumpy ass customer service. Keep that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Give me a happy ass old lady that don't have to work. She just bored. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to be in the house. Her husband getting on her nerves. Her grandkids keep calling her to ask her to watch the kids. But if she got a job, she ain't got to watch the kids, right? Because I'm going to work. It's just that. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll catch y'all in this video. Bye.